disclaimer, Sierra, I'm sorry about that comment. She is probably the easiest teacher I have ever had, and the people in the class are really neat and fun, and I can't even imagine being in a classroom full of ukulele players, all kind of trying to keep up with you, and it's, anyway, thanks, and here's why I did that tonight, is I came up because the ladies are going to be here next Wednesday. I'm going on a trip. I couldn't be here, and it just didn't seem fair. Okay? So, has anybody here ever tried to quit sugar? Ever tried to quit sugar? It's kind of tough, isn't it? Sugar is in everything. Have you ever tried to quit anything else, like gluten?
Yeah.
Fingernails? Well, I decided I had a problem with sugar because I was putting sugar in my coffee. And I had a cute little sugar bowl that was cut glass, and it held about a cup of sugar. So every morning I was putting sugar in my coffee, and after a while, this little sugar bowl no longer held enough sugar for me. So I got a mason jar, put that out, washed the sugar bowl, put it away, I've got the mason jar. So one day I went to make coffee. It was going to be a big day. I had a lot of stuff to do. I realized the mason jar was half empty, and it had only just been filled. So I knew I had a problem. I was getting ready to go on a long trip. I wasn't going to quit coffee, but I thought, maybe I should quit sugar on this trip. Have you ever tried to go on a diet on a vacation or a trip? This was a working vacation, but have you ever tried that? It's like, I'm going on vacation. I think I'll go on a diet. I did this once. I'm going on vacation. I think I'm going to quit drinking. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So I'm ready to go on a working vacation, and I'm thinking I'm going to quit eating sugar because obviously I've got a problem. So I'm thinking stuff like, what if I go on withdrawal, stuff like that. Anyway, I thought, well, today's a big day. I'm going to go ahead and put sugar in my coffee. Because it's a big day, I can always quit tomorrow. Because you can always quit tomorrow, right? And I went on about my business. I was planning on leaving at about 1 o'clock. I had problems with shutting my house down. I had problems with my security system. I had to replace the batteries and the sensors in just you name it. It just took forever. I had to go to Blackbird and get a $15 battery, and then I realized I had to go back to Blackbird, the monstrosity on Main Street, and get another battery, a completely different battery for another sensor. So I get all this stuff done, and I'm not really good at that kind of stuff anyway. So I'm agitated, I'm frustrated, I'm tired. By the time I got my house shut down, everything working correctly, I hit the road, and this is a long trip, I had a long drive. I hit the road at 7 o'clock at night, and I'm tired, and I'm frustrated, and I needed coffee. So as I went through the southern part of Medford, I went to my favorite kiosk, and usually what happens is, I got a little thrown off because usually it's a young, perky girl that sticks her head out the window and goes, "Hey, how you doing? How's your day going?" And you're just like, how do they do that all day? How do they do that? Well, I got thrown for kind of a loop because this time I pull up and a guy sticks his head out. And it wasn't just your friendly barista kind of guy. This guy he looked like an actor. He looked like a leading man with broad shoulders and chiseled features. And I get goofy when I'm tired. So, I pull up to the window and I say, I would like to have a tall coffee, please. And I'm rummaging around in my purse for my change. And he sticks his head out the hole again and he goes, "Would you like that a hot one?" And I don't know why, but it just tickled my funny bone. And I started laughing. And then I realized he meant the coffee. And so I got my coffee, I'm on the road, heading down I-5, finally, freedom, wonderful, beautiful freedom, got my coffee. Coffee's nice and warm. I'm thinking, okay, by the time I go through Lassen National Forest, this coffee might still be warm if I keep the lid closed, put a napkin on top of it. So I'm driving, head off 89, I'm driving, driving, and I'm thinking about my frustrations and how kind of my day went. And I'm also kind of wondering if I'm going to get as far as I want to go, which was last National Forest, not park. And I'm on a straight stretch and I'm getting sleepy. Reach out, coffee's still warm. It's like some kind of weird miracle, like the loaves and fishes, you know. The coffee is still warm. And I'm thinking, oh, yes, a nice big gulp of delicious, sweet, creamy coffee. Yeah. Pop the lid, take a big sip, and it was black coffee. I took this as a sign from the gods that I am no longer to put sugar in my coffee. I rarely do it. I did it tonight because I knew I was going to come up. So tonight was an exception. There are always exceptions to these rules, right? There's always those gluten days. You can have a gluten day, one a week. Did I ever really quit sugar entirely? No, because I found out it's in everything, especially ketchup. But I did take a step. I no longer put sugar in my coffee, and I'm going to thank the barista.